All right, everybody, welcome to Key West. This is our first official day here, and we just stopped at the southernmost point of the continental US. Yes, the big concrete buoy looking thing that everyone takes their photo at. It is about 11 o'clock. It had a little bit of a line, so get here early if you don't want to wait, but it's also a little breezy, so I think that helped with keeping the crowds down. Otherwise, we are headed towards Duval Street to start checking out Key West. Our second stop was the Southernmost Point Bar, just a short walk up from Southernmost Point. You can get quick drinks and sit in a great atmosphere with outdoor seating and good music.
We are at the Southernmost Bar, and to celebrate, I got the mile marker 0 margarita.
There was a local food truck as well. However, we just wanted a quick drink before we continued on our way to Duval Street. This is the very eastern edge of Duval Street at the ocean here in Key West, and we are about to go walk Duval Street and check it out. Duval Street has many historic sites as well as shops and great restaurants. So we are here in early December, and everywhere is pretty much decked out for Christmas. As you can see, it has tons of decorations this time of year because it is December. And our first stop is going to be Margaritaville, which of course is the iconic Jimmy Buffett location. Did you know this is the original Margaritaville?
In honor of Jimmy Buffett, I got the 5 o'clock somewhere.
And I got the watermelon wave gluten-free. Their fries are pretty good too, but the drinks were absolutely delicious. Okay, so we just left Margaritaville, and we weren't intending to turn this into a pub crawl, but there's some really cool iconic places to have a drink at, so really cool to just see the original Margaritaville.
And pay our respects to Jimmy Buffett. And it may be only 2 o'clock, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
If you're looking for another place to visit, Sloppy Joe's Bar is a great location where Ernest Hemingway would frequently eat. And up next, if you're in Key West, you have to try key lime pie. Why? Well, it is believed that this is where key lime pie originated. Kermit's had plenty of free samples, and Kari took full advantage of these.
Key West is known for their key lime pie, and we actually found a place that has gluten-free key lime pie. So Tyler is super excited to be able to finally try something famous, local to the area that is gluten-free, a rarity for us.
But this actually tastes really good. The crust, you can't tell it's gluten-free, it tastes normal.
Okay, I've never had key lime pie before, so I don't know what to compare it to other than banana cream. If you like lime, you'll love key lime pie.
You can't even bake it.
I don't know that limes are my favorite.
The good news is you're getting a real review from her.
I need some water.
That was a great time on Duval Street. We had the key lime pie, and then we went back and actually crashed and rested for about an hour or so. And now we are getting prepared to go watch sunset at Mallory Square. Come check it out. We heard this is the place to go for sunset in Key West because you not only get gorgeous views, but you are right up at the edge of the ocean. Make sure to get there early because it can be absolutely packed. like that one better?
Better quality than the one I have, and it's cheaper. It's half the price.
And as soon as sunset is over, you can turn around and walk through Mallory Square for both gifts and souvenirs. All right, so we watched the sunset here at Mallory Square, which is actually really beautiful. We did walk the shops a little bit, as you saw, but then the sky looked really cool, so we came back out for a couple more shots. All right, if you're looking for a morning pick-me-up, that was the Cuban Coffee Queen. No, we did not get a coffee. We just had a bunch before we left our condo that we're renting. It's a great spot because you not only get coffee or breakfast, but you can also get a cool picture by the Key West sign that they have painted on their building. Otherwise, let's get the day started. There are so many ways to get around Key West, including walking, riding the conch train, mopeds, golf carts, bicycles, even the trolley. You can take a car, but there's not very much parking and it's expensive. So choose what you want to do.
One thing they make sure you know before paying to get in is you cannot see Cuba from the top of the lighthouse.
The lighthouse stairs themselves are very narrow and actually quite tough for two people to pass each other going up and down. And if you're afraid of heights, this probably isn't for you.
Oh, what a great view.
You can see the highest point of the Keys out there.
A little hill.
It's a landfill.
At the top, they had sign markers that outlined everything you were looking at over the city of Key West. And with your admission fee, you get to see the Lighthouse Keepers Museum, which included plenty of history not only about the lighthouse, but the people who ran it, and the island itself. One thing that I thought was really cool was the Fresnel lenses, which included this giant one at the end. All right, two things about the lighthouse. One, it is steep both in staircase and in cost at $17 a person, but pretty beautiful views. And from the top, you can look into Ernest Hemingway's yard, and that's where we're headed next. Key West was also home to the famous 20th century author Ernest Hemingway, who was a novelist, short story writer, and journalist. There is a tour included with your entry fee, or you can self-guide throughout the house. From the photographs on the wall, you can see that Hemingway lived a very adventurous life. But did you know he had a love for six-toed cats? Up to 70 to be exact.
Well, there's two at 59. The first thing we learned when we came in here, well, they told us don't pick up the cats. And so I asked, what's with all the cats? There are 59 on this property. They said he loved cats and he lost count at 70. They have six fingers. They're like, not pterodactyl, polydactyl.
Pterodactyl. Oh, it does have that extra hand. Save them a little bit for later.
It smells good. It smells like the chicken masala I made. I'll probably eat this whole thing. Our waiter said our meal was probably big enough to share between two people. Tyler didn't eat a single bite.
If you're looking for one more thing to see, Fort Zachary Taylor is a great spot for a history lesson. The fort itself predates the Civil War and houses the largest collection of Civil War armament in the world. It is also the southernmost state park in the continental U.S.
Half staff in Palm Beach County, Florida. Flags have flown at half staff from sunrise to sunset on Tuesday, December 3rd to honor the following officers who died in a car crash. It's written as
Today's Friday.
half staff.
So for those of you enjoying our history tour, yes, that is half staff. Kari was right. Sorry, I can't see. I said half mast, which apparently, yes, is on a ship, for those of you that know. And then we had a debate, oh, well, how far is this Key West from the Dry Tortugas? Babe, it was 100 miles away.
It was 100 miles. Like 8 miles. How many? 100? It was not 100 miles.
It wouldn't have taken us 40 minutes in a seaplane to go 8 miles unless we did a bunch of circles. So we looked it up and that was about 70. So I won that one. So we're 50-50 if anyone's keeping score. Despite trying to finish our tour of the fort, we did have to settle one more debate.
Informative books with history in them.
So to settle this, because we want to do best 2 out of 3, Kari said, do you remember those books that people would come sell door to door back in the 90s? They were brown and had a lot of interesting facts. And I said, yeah, an encyclopedia. She said, no, they were information books. So she texted her family. They both replied encyclopedia. So
They were not encyclopedia.
not saying I won, but let's go. And for those of you looking for the beach, located within the park is a spot for sunset. The water was crystal clear and plenty warm for a little snorkeling. I'll look for her waving. Not sure what to expect, I set off to find some fish, but couldn't believe what I saw. So I don't know if you can hear me. Sometimes the GoPro doesn't work well after it got water in it. But here at Fort Jackson, you can then get in the beach, which you heard is another good snorkel spot and relaxing beach to hang out at. So we rented some gear, and I already saw 2 stingrays. So Kari wasn't gonna get in, but of course she can't miss any wildlife. So we are searching to see if we can find a third for her to see. This is one of the good spots to watch sunset. So while we checked out sunset at Mallory Square the other night, there's no clouds in the sky right now. So I think this might be a better sunset. So we're gonna stay and check it out.
And what's really cool about this park is you do have to pay to get in. We walked in, it was $2.50 a person. I think it was $4 something per car. But they have places to eat here. They have plenty of picnic tables. They also have an area where you can rent snorkel gear. So if you don't have your own with you, there's a place you can rent it. You can also rent lounge chairs and umbrellas. So you really just need to bring like your towel and your bathing suit, and everything else here you can get and rent it for your time here.
It's our last night on Key West.
And I have to say, I think this place is better for sunset than Mallory Square.